What am I doing here? I'm basically just, further setting my makeup. Now, this is actually a homemade facial primer. Believe it or not, all natural, vegan, you name it, homemade primer. So I use just a few ingredients in this to make my own, and you can actually compare this to any one of those primers on the market. This is just that you make it at home for yourself, which for me, I do make it a little stronger since I like my makeup to stay on longer. Okay, so guys, if you are interested in making your own homemade facial primer, continue watching. Now, if you are lost and you're not familiar with a facial primer, let me tell you a little more about the benefits and why we use a facial primer. Many people often skip using a primer because they believe they don't really need it or maybe unsure of how to use it. A primer is used directly on the skin underneath your moisturizer and makeup. Using a primer will make everything last longer, whether makeup or your moisturizer. Primer is a base for foundation or face makeup that will allow it to go on smoother and last longer. So now that that is out of the way, follow me to the kitchen and I'll show you how to whip this up in no time. Our first ingredient is witch hazel. I'm using some rose water. Our next ingredient is vegetable glycerin. I'm going to be using some green tea, and this is in the form of tea bag. You're also going to need a small spray bottle for storing. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare the green tea. And to prepare the green tea, I'm actually going to brew the green tea. And I'm using 1 tea bag. If you have loose leaf, go ahead and use 1 teaspoon. To brew our green tea, I'm going to brew this in a 1/4 cup of water. And this is hot water. So you want to boil your water first, and then you're going to pour a 1/4 cup of water on your green tea. And you're going to set that aside for about 5 minutes to brew. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of witch hazel, 1 tablespoon of vegetable glycerin, 1 teaspoon of rose water, and for our green tea mix, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. You can choose to add a little more green tea if you want it to be a little weaker. I like to make it on the stronger side. And now we're going to just mix this together. And now this is ready. To store your primer, you want to store it in a plastic jar, and you're just going to pour it in. Just so not to waste it, I'm going to pour in. And do not throw out. If you have leftover, find other bottles and put it in it. Always shake. And this is ready. This is our facial primer. So now I'm going to show you how to use your natural homemade facial primer. You do not need to store this in your refrigerator. It's okay to just put this with the rest of your makeup. The vegetable glycerin and the witch hazel preserve this wonderfully. Okay? So use this up in at least 6 weeks. Now here is our facial primer. To use your facial primer, you want to start with clean skin, and you want to apply your facial primer before your makeup. However, this particular facial primer can also be used to spritz over your makeup. Now, I personally like to apply my facial primer before my moisturizer. So I just cleanse my face like I normally do, and I apply the facial primer. I let it sit a little, and then I apply a little bit of a moisturizer. Now, if you use a facial toner, you're gonna use it before your facial primer, okay? Now, what the facial primer does is really set your makeup. It also prevents you from sweating, and it also helps to keep your shadow, which is like your eyeshadow, more vibrant. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video, leave your comments, and if this was the first time watching, look below. You're going to see the word subscribe. Click on it and you will be subscribed. Thank you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.